Alright, so today we're going to do a rapid fire overview of pretty much every Penji feature. This will be appointments, drop-in, and sections. So let's get started from the admin perspective. If you are an admin of a program, you manage a program, you'll go to admin.penjiapp.com. Here, you'll have received an invite for your first time, and you'll have signed up. So right now I'm going to log in with my account, which I've already created. To access the communities that I am an admin for. So let's see. Because I'm a colorado.edu email, the system recognizes me and lets me into the CU Boulder environment. I'm an admin for 4 different programs or communities. Let's look at AARC tutoring. So we're going to start by giving you an overview of appointments. To set the system up for appointments, we'll need courses in the system. These can be uploaded manually, or they can be automatically imported from your student information system. We'll need to upload tutors. So this is a list of emails that when they sign up for Penji, they'll have access to the tutoring functions, and they'll be certified for certain courses that you have defined. We'll also need locations for sessions to be hosted. These can be in person or they can be online. They'll have their own unique set of hours, capacity, and things like that. Once that's all set up, we are good to go. Now, what I'd recommend is you add yourself as a tutor. You can use the email that is your admin account, and this is going to act as a student, tutor, and admin account all in one. For admin, we're at admin.penjiapp.com, but for anyone looking to use Penji as a tutor or student, we'll point them to web.penjiapp.com. Folks will arrive here. If it's their first time, they'll click Get Started, and then when they type in their @Colorado email, we'll recognize that and open up single sign-on. In this case, I'm just going to sign back in. Notice I'm using the same credentials. You can use your admin account to sign in to the system as a student or tutor would at web.penjiapp.com and do some testing from that side of the house, which is highly recommended as you continue to operate Penji in your program. So go to AARC tutoring and the Learn screen. So this is my student view, and this is what students would see. The different routes of tutoring are available here. I am authorized as a tutor, remember, so I have access to this calendar menu. Here is where I put my appointment availability. This is over the next 7 days, and this automatically gets copied over to following weeks. So I can edit that and add some times. Let's say I wanted to be available for that chunk. Now that's all set. I'd also set up my Zoom settings so that if Zoom was selected, this meeting information would get provided to students for our appointment in Penji. So to look at it from the student side, I'll actually go ahead and book an appointment with myself. So I'm a student, I signed in, I hit schedule an appointment. I start by picking my class. These can be the official classes that we've imported from the registrar, or you can allow students to just join their own classes from the list of classes that you've uploaded. We'll go ahead and move forward with Chem 1113. Here's all the available times for that course. So this is all tutor schedules merged into one who can teach that course. If I selected tomorrow at noon, there'd be some available tutors. 2 tutors are available at that time who are certified for that course. You can look at profiles and pick one tutor to move forward with. I'd like to meet online. Topic, type in whatever I want. This is a customizable question where you can customize the list of options. Could be further topics that you want them to select or something like that, just extra data. And then I complete the request. Now the tutor gets notified at this point that you've been requested to teach a session. You can have this be automatically accepted as the community admin, or you can have waiting for tutors so that tutors have to go in and say, yes, I see this request and I can accept it. This is where booking a session with yourself breaks down. Usually there'd be an accept button and then there'd be the Zoom information, but in this case, just as an example, that's where we'll stop the appointment. At the time of the appointment, the student and the tutor will meet either in person or at the Zoom link that's supplied here. And then the final item is that the tutor will use the session to actually log attendance. This session between myself and Laura shows that a little bit better. Here's the Zoom link, and then I can check the student in. I can say, yes, Laura came, and I can hit end session and leave some more feedback if you want to configure that. So that is an appointment. As a student also, I can go in and cancel the session or report a problem. and you'll see all that data. Speaking of data, appointment interactions go into the Sessions tab in the admin panel. So you can see the session was created and then canceled, and this is all the details. All right, so that is appointments. Let's move on to drop-in. Now with drop-in, we have a separate list of drop-in locations which are configured differently than appointments. Once again, we can kind of upload a CSV of data for these locations that include all the settings. You can see here that we have a queue mode location and we have a log mode location. Let's start with log. This is the more traditional drop-in center where you just have a kiosk and students will check into the kiosk, say what course they're in, what they're there for, and you'll have those visit data. With those, to start your shift at this in-person center for the day, you'll just open up this kiosk URL on a computer or an iPad, and so I'll show you what that looks like. Before doing so, however, I should mention that you've set up this location, this physical log mode drop-in location. Tutors now can go in and edit their calendar for that specific location. So that's maintained separately than their appointment calendar. Those two systems, the calendar for appointments and the calendar for their drop-in room, you can have them be overlapping availability, so you make them the same. And then that would allow tutors to accept appointments during their drop-in shift when they're working in person at the center. And those calendars will actually talk to each other. So an appointment getting booked from during a shift that the tutor is working in the center, that'll get subtracted from the drop-in availability for that day. Let's just take a look at what I mean by this. So today, this is for this in-person center I was showing you. This tutor, me, has a shift that I've scheduled here. We could also have appointment availability here, and if a student books the 3 p.m. to 3:30 slot, that would get subtracted from the drop-in schedule for the day, and students could see the updated real-time drop-in schedule, basically the leftover availability. So that's just an option. So me as a tutor, I have my schedule set up for the Student Success Center, and ready to go. So to start off the day, you just open up the kiosk, set it up at the front, and then students would see this. This user interface is getting improved. We just released this kiosk system. So they would hit check-in. They would pick what they're there for. You can upload a list of various topics that you want to add to this list, so computer, printer, study group, or tutoring. If it's tutoring, they'll see a list of popular classes, ones that have been checked in for quite a bit, or they can just search from all of your classes. They see scheduled hours are current, so we're within one of those hours, so I can check into the room. I type my email, or we can use card swipes to automatically input this. And so I'm checked in. The final thing is that on the way out, students can check out, or your front desk person can help with this. And when they hit checkout, they'll see their name here or their email because I've already checked in, so the system's expecting a checkout. And that would be the basic log mode. Now we have one more mode, which is the queue. So this is useful either for very busy in-person drop-in rooms where students are sometimes waiting for support and you want kind of a line to form and students to know, or tutors to know who came first and who should I help next, right? So that's one case. The other is online drop-in. The queue is very useful. So I'm going to show the online drop-in mode, but just know this can be used in person as well. So we have this Zoom meeting online room, this location that we've made, and it's a queue. Same thing on the tutor side. I can go into my view drop-in rooms. I've already set up some hours for that Zoom room, but I will edit it, go in, take a quick look, and I have a shift right now. So as a tutor now, I actually have to initiate my shift by clicking into this room and checking in. This is the queue, this is the wait list. And so once I check in, students that check in themselves will show up in this queue and I will start working through them one by one. So I have checked into the room, it shows that I'm checked in, and others can see that. Now the student perspective. In the log mode, they just kind of showed up at your center, however they got there, and they checked in, right? But in this mode, the student are within Penji. Instead of scheduling an appointment, they might want to view the drop-in schedule. So we'll go ahead and choose this course. And the system, once again, looks up all the available drop-in opportunities for that student. One of them is this card for the in-person room that we've already discussed, so students can browse the schedule here. And as mentioned, if the appointments talk to the drop-in and you choose to set that up, a tutor's window, this could get smaller if a tutor's getting booked throughout the week, and students can see the real-time drop-in schedule in this way. Now we see that there's Zoom online drop-in, however, and it matches, there's a current shift supported. There's actually a tutor checked in, 3-minute estimated wait. So I'm looking for help right now. I'm at my house working on something. So I'm going to type a topic and check into the drop-in queue. As a tutor, I get notified via email and mobile app that a new student has checked into the queue. And as a tutor, usually what would happen is the tutor, as mentioned, they'd start their shift, click into the queue, they would check in, and they would just leave this tab open. They get notified a new student has checked in, and they say, oh, yep, I see them, and maybe more students are in the queue below. We can chat directly with the student, we can remove them, move them up or down if there's other students here, but most of the time it'll just be start tutoring. Now, when this button is clicked, the tutor's Zoom link that was set up in settings will get sent to the student who's been waiting in the queue, and it'll say, your tutor's ready for you, go ahead and join this Zoom link to get help. The tutor and the student will meet on Zoom, and then the student will leave, and the tutor will move on to the next student in the queue, say start tutoring. One key point is that tutors can start tutoring on multiple students at once. So you can support groups in this way. The tutors will just make the choice of like, how many students do I let into my room at any given time? From the student perspective, back on the Learn screen, there's this drop-in check-in. Now it's changed to tutor ready. And so this is what it looks like. I got notified as well. Your tutor's ready for you. Here's your Zoom link. Join. And that's how that goes. So to finish that out, the tutor would say, yep, me and Ben just met, and I'm now done. And I'm going to leave a comment for the coordinator. Those drop-in check-ins will show up under this tab, drop-in check-ins. And so we'll see the different one. This is a guest check-in, kind of a kiosk-based check-in, and then this would be the queue-based check-in that just happened. And I'll check out of the room because my shift is over. You can see under tutor hours, you can see their scheduled hours for their drop-in rooms, as well as when have they actually checked in and checked out. And you can export all this data in a more organized format in Excel. All right, so those are the two kind of ways to do drop-in. Finally, we have sections, which is group experiences. Workshops, SI is a very common one, recurring weekly sessions, test reviews, things like that. Admins upload these opportunities, so you would upload these via a CSV once again. You would configure the name, you would configure the tutor, the course, the location, how many slots are there available to be joined, that kind of thing, the weekly time, is it one-off or is it weekly? So that's the basics. So that gets all set up. Something nice about this is you can actually add rosters of students to a given section, and this will pre-populate an attendance list for tutors to select from, saying these 100 students were expected to maybe come, this is the roster of the class, these 25 did come or something. And also these rosters can automatically email students about these events, even if they've never heard of your center or if they've never used Penji yet. These emails can get sent out automatically to students as a way to boost engagement. On the student side, let's go look at the system. So once again, I'm a student. I've already had an appointment once. I've already checked out the drop-in schedule. Now I want to join a section. You can relabel this button to be whatever. Sometimes it's join a weekly study group or join an SI session. So once again, like the other two modes, I start by picking a class, and then I will see upcoming events for that class. Looks like there's an SI section every Friday. So I'm going to join that, led by Ben. Once I join, it shows up on my Learn screen, just like an appointment would, or the drop-in check-in. I can see the details here. Here's the Zoom meeting information. Here's the attendees. There might be a lot more, usually would be. And then there's a group chat room where we can share files, discuss anything we'd like, and all of that. Students can leave feedback. You can customize this log. By the way, students can leave feedback on appointments as well. And then once again, tutors will log the session themselves. And so they would have submit session log, and they would mark who attended of the list and any comments to leave for your coordinator. So those are the basics of sections. That's a quick overview. There's a lot more features. If you look at kind of the settings, in particular on the admin side, there's quite a few different settings to configure your center for. You can block off holiday times, so no appointments or anything can be booked. You can set up no-show rules, so if students are missing sessions and they're being marked as didn't attend by the tutor, automatic rules to send emails, customized emails about that, and then eventually suspend them for a period, and other items like that. But that's a quick overview of Penji. Hope it was helpful, and of course happy to answer any questions at this email works. So thanks.